How do you know when enough is enough? No, seriously, I feel like that's not really such a hard question because what's enough for one person may not be enough for another. Today, I wanted to go ahead and kind of discuss and talk about my feelings on the new Royal High update that's probably been out for a couple of weeks now. Like, it's been out for a while now. And I just want to answer a main question that I have in my personal opinion. Is this gonna be enough? Hypothetically speaking, obviously, no, but I want to kind of dive deep into that question and kind of talk about my thoughts and opinions on the new school so far. So first things first, obviously just looks of the school. It's very pink. Obviously, it's a Royal High school. Nothing new there. I like how everything is more organized. Like, you can obviously see where the office is, where the gym is at, where the classes are. Before, everything really was just everywhere. In Campus 3, you can just go into any classroom. It doesn't matter because there was no assigned classrooms then, and you get to pick art or the rainy day classroom. And I like how everything is now more in a spot and not just in different realms. I also like the mermaid theme that they're going for. It does kind of remind me of Campus 3 during the summertime, I think. I think it was the summer or springtime, where in the middle of the school, it would have the pool and everything. So I like how they kind of expanded on that idea as well. It really does look enchanted and pretty. I don't know. Like, maybe that's a little too much because I know a lot of people may not be able to handle all of the details and everything graphics wise, but so far it really does look very pretty. Everything is organized, everything has a spot, everything has a name, like everything's labeled. The only thing I feel like I'm very confused about is where the headmistress office is in Campus 4. I don't know if it's been put in yet or it's just not in this campus yet. And then another thing is finding the books in your locker for like your classes. I'm not exactly sure where the books are for the classes that we need to attend. Like, if I have to buy something, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna go to my classes without my books, but maybe I'm missing something. I still have to play around with it a little bit. Now I want to go ahead and talk about the classes that we have. So the first class that we have is the cafeteria, which isn't really a class. It's more of just like a small little mini game that you can do during the morning times. You go ahead and get your breakfast or whatever, and I love that we have so many options to choose from. Like, it really does remind me of, I think it was Campus 1 and Campus 2, where you can just go to the cafeteria and get your lunch or whatever. You get to mix and match with what you want to do. I like how they still kept that aspect of the cafeteria as well, and the fact that we even have a cafeteria is just tea. I love the animation details for eating and drinking. I like how you can pick what you want to eat first on your tray, and the animations for it is just great. Love it so much. And I love the different desserts and things that you can choose from. Like, you can choose like the main course, then the snacks, then the desserts and the drinks and all that stuff. Obviously, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny. I'm not really surprised about that, but there is honestly some really good options in animations for it. And I also like how for the cafeteria in the morning, you get like a mini like modeling shoot, which I never participated in because I never understood what the point of it was. But I like how you get to vote people as if prom, for example, you get to vote roses to the person that you like their outfit for or whatever. And I like that aspect as well. It just gives you something to do during the morning. Then the first class that you have is English class, which I like, but I hate to some degree. I feel like the words that have like the 2 L's or the 2 E's or multiple different I's, like, it really does mess me up. Like, I was getting a little bit irritated because I was just like, I am actually not sure what I'm looking at right now. But for the most part, it's not a bad class. The next class is computer class, which isn't bad either. I just don't think it's my favorite class. Like, you have a word on the screen and you have to type that word out as fast as you can, basically. So it's like you racing to see how fast you can type, which is good. I kind of like it for the fact that they're very easy words for some of them. Like, obviously Obviously, you just need to make sure you don't mistype. The only thing I really don't like about that class though is that there are times where it may lag or kind of glitch and you click on the word, or not the word, but you click on the letter in the word and it doesn't actually click, and then it counts as like a red, and then you have to redo it, and it's just like I'm not sure about that. But it's not a bad class. I like that class. It's very like obviously competitive, and I'm a very competitive person, so I'll be rushing through it and misplace my finger on certain keys. Potionology is the same class that we had in Campus 2, where you basically have to pick the potions, obviously, and if you don't pick them fast enough, then you're out. Not a bad class. It's mostly just being able to click it fast enough. Archery, I actually really like archery. Basically, you're just shooting the targets. There's different targets on both sides. There's like balloons, and each one is worth different points. Very simple, but very straightforward. I like it, and I like the area that it's set in. The next class is basically swim class, and you get like 2 parts of the swim class. So the first part is the swim spinner, which I personally like. I can always time my jumps perfectly to when the little spinny thing comes to my area. Sometimes it goes a little bit too fast or too slow, and then I end up missing it and then falling into the water, but I digress. It's a pretty interesting little experience. The next is the baton swim, which is basically like a relay race but in the water. So you have to swim to the baton on the other side and then swim to put it back. And I hate the little loops because there's like a little barrier. If you don't pass through the loops, you get stuck on the invisible barrier in the water. I don't like that. The next class is flight class, which again is basically your flying skills. Nothing too serious there. It has a very simple and easy obstacle course around the field, and you kind of fly up to whatever to end it off at. Then the next few quote unquote classes, I'm not really sure if they're actually classes or just stuff to do in the downtime. But then we have study hall, which is basically a memory game. I didn't like that one because obviously you have to memorize the color and the shape, or either or, and I didn't really like the memorizing game because they'll add more onto it and you got to be quick with it. These are all like timely based things that you got to be quick with, or if you don't do it quickly enough, you have to redo it again. I don't like that memory game. The next one is basketball. I didn't like basketball. I literally want to give up. It didn't matter where I stood or where I was at. I couldn't get one single hoop. I was struggling. I didn't like it. Honestly, I probably should have just skipped it, but like on the other people that were in the same server as me just either got so close to the hoop. I was like, maybe if I get close enough to the hoop and try again. Nope. And then the last one is the student store rush, which when I first did it, I was actually so confused. I was clicking, it told me to get the pencil box and I clicked the case instead, or I think it was vice versa. It was asking me to get the pencil case and I was clicking the pencil box. And I'm like, what is the difference? Like, I'm sitting up here so confused. So that definitely took me a little bit of time to figure out. But for the most part, you're just getting all of the materials that you have to get on the list. And basically that was it. I really like that. At least now that little store has like an actual purpose now instead of just being there for decoration. Obviously, there's going to be more classes included in the future, but so far, a lot of the classes that we have in Campus 4 have been revamped from Campus 2, like the flight class and the English class and potionology. So I really like that. We also have a new set out that I didn't really check, which cost 127k diamonds. I'm pretty sure, I may be wrong, but that is the number that I remember. And I don't know if that set is finished yet. I'm not sure if it's supposed to come with shoes or sleeves or other accessories in the future, but I like how they're trying to bring in more diamond sets because look, I've already talked about in the past how I want them to either focus on making both diamond and money sets, because not everybody has the money to be paying for in-game sets and stuff like that. So it's nice to have options. So I really hope that they're going to continue to work on both at the same time, like have 1 month release a diamond set, have another month release a toy set, and kind of do it like that. Now obviously, on to the main question of today's video, is this enough? Obviously the school is a good start. It's a good improvement in the right direction. Obviously the school has no loading screen, so it enables people to have more role plays and actually engage with the classes and the players and everything. And I really like that aspect. Campus 4 really is such a huge improvement to putting Royal High back on track, but at the same time, it can also derail from this as well. It honestly just depends on what the devs decide to do with Royal High from here on out, whether they want to continue to grow or continue to decrease. I don't know if this will be enough to bring back old players. I know a lot of old players are coming back to this game just to see what it's all about, just to see what Royal High has been up to. And then other older players just don't care for the game anymore, like they're absolutely over it. And I feel like Royal High really needs to focus on keeping its current players that they have now and new players to come. And I just feel like this new school really is just enabling that to happen. Now, like I said before, obviously this isn't going to be enough. I feel like for me personally, it's still missing a couple of things. And for me personally, it'll never be the same Royal High that we remembered back when we were kids. Like, it will never be the same Royal High. I've already accepted that already, but there's just been so much that has been happening with Royal High, with devs teams and its community, that a lot of people just have given up on Royal High completely. Now, I'm not really saying that those people who have completely given up on Royal High won't give Royal High a second chance or a third chance. I'm not exactly sure, but it is going to take a lot more than just a new school and some classes to bring back those old players, to rise up those player counts. As of right now, it's obviously just not enough. At least for me personally, I feel like obviously it's not finished. It is just a work in progress type of thing. We have a few classes and things that we can do in Campus 4, but obviously we're still missing a whole bunch of other classes and a whole bunch of other stuff in Campus 4. So I don't know yet. I'm not exactly sure what to expect from the Royal High dev team. Like, I honestly wasn't expecting the new school to be as good as it is now. Obviously, I wanted to improve and keep on growing, but just to see what they were able to do, I honestly had zero expectations for Campus 4. Like, I wasn't expecting Campus 4 to be as good as it is now. And just to see how much time and effort that they put into Campus 4 really just shows how they may try to step in the right direction, but at the same time, they can easily fall off of that high pedestal. Another thing that I want to talk about has nothing to do with Campus 4 and its rankings or anything, but more so about the Quest XP. In Campus 4, a lot of people have been getting upset for the lack of XP that we're getting for the quests that we do. So in Campus 3, you would usually get like 40 something, 45, 47 XP for almost every quest that you do. But in Campus 4, that XP has been severely reduced. And although I understand and know why that's the case, it is kind of irritating because it is a lot easier to farm in Campus 4 than Campus 3, obviously because there's no loading screen, but it also makes sense why they reduced it in Campus 4 is because they really want you to participate in the classes for XP, which again, they put a lot of effort and time into, so obviously it makes sense for them to want you to actually play the classes if you're in Campus 4. But if you go back to Campus 3, you can simply just grind and farm there. I find that annoying, but obviously it makes sense. Like, if I made a game and I worked on the classes, I would want you to spend more time on the classes than doing your quests. That's basically what Campus 2 was as well, where the only real way to get your XP was doing the classes. So I feel like that's the main drawback for me personally, but I don't want to hate on Royal High too much. It obviously makes sense. Like, what are you gonna expect? Other than that, like I said, it's not going to feel like the same Royal High we knew from when it first started, and it's obviously missing a whole bunch of elements that made Royal High what Royal High was. I'm going to miss all the timely events that we had and all of the old like sets and all of the old players, but there's been so much that happened to Royal High to damage its name and image that I don't know if it will truly ever fully recover from that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's definitely going to take a lot more effort from the developers and also the community as well to work hand in hand to make Royal High a better game for older and newer players. I really feel like the devs need to listen to their player base more because that's what makes up most of their game. Obviously, it's their players. If no one's playing playing their game, they're obviously not making any money. There's no point for them to continue Royal High if nobody's playing it. But there's still a solid few of people who still love and play this game, me included, who want to see this game grow and thrive. And it really needs to, it can't just be on the community. It really is on the devs as well. It takes two to make a game. It takes two to make a game successful and grow. It's consumers and it's developers, you know? So that's all of my thoughts and opinions on the new school and what I liked and disliked about it, and basically my own opinions on everything. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye everyone.